Shalom to you and welcome. In this video, we look at law of cosines. We looked at law of sines. So we use law of cosines when you know all the sides without knowing any of the angles, or when we know two sides and one angle in between. Because for us to use law of sine, we have to know the angle and the side opposite it. But in this case, we don't. These two sides, none of them is opposite the angle we know. That's when we use law of cosine. Actually, law of cosine could be used to solve any triangle at all, whether it's right triangle or non-right triangle. But except that it can be tedious during the evaluation, the computation. So, but the law of cosine is saying that just like the Pythagorean theorem, so you can find the side of any angle, opposite any angle. If we have side angle A, if we know just angle A, that we can find the side opposite angle A by squaring it and squaring the other two sides. And then minus, let's say angle A is over here. Then we know side B and C. Side A, angle A is included with side C and B. So that's why we have it. We're looking for side A. We don't know this angle side A. To find it, we can take cosine A, multiply it by the two sides that is included in, multiply, and then times 2. Multiply that product by 2. And then we subtract it from the square of those two sides. We square those two sides, add them, and then we get the side opposite it. That's what this is. If we know angle B and we know side AC, we do the same thing. We can find side B by that. So we can find cosine A, the same thing with angle, if we are given all the three sides. So let's solve a problem. So here they gave us side B, side C, side A. So we can draw an angle here, draw a triangle. This is triangle A, this side will be 60. And if this is angle B, the side B will be 40. And this is angle C, side C will be 24. And so since we know those sides set up our angle, 40, we are looking for, we can begin from wherever you want, but we are looking for all the three angles anyway. You don't have any of them, so we can start from angle A. So if we are starting from angle A, then it's going to be A square, is what we're gonna do, equals B square plus C square minus 2 times, gonna be 2 times, since we're looking for angle A, 2 times BC. 2 times B times C times cosine A. Again, it's gonna be the cosine of the angle that you opposite the side you set equal. So we know all the sides. So side A is 26, so it's 26 square. Side B is 14, so 14 square. Side C is 24, it's 24 square. Again, that's 24 minus, then 2 times 14 times 24 times cosine A, which we're looking for, so we don't have it. So that would be the only variable we have here. Then simplify everything. So 26 squared is 6, 7, 6. 14 squared is, if you square those two and add them, we get 772. Minus, we multiply all of these, we get 672. You can do this in your calculator, cosine A. Now, one common mistake is people will subtract 772 minus 672. Remember to use the order of operation, and that's why I always put these in parentheses to remind people. Put these in parentheses to remind you that this multiplication goes together. So you have to subtract 772 from both sides first. Do the subtraction. Work with this side, this term last. So if we subtract 772 from both sides, we're going to get negative 96 is equal to negative 672 cosine A. Okay, so again, subtract 772 from both sides, and then you have this left to remove this term. So now we are looking for angle A. So we're going to take first of all, divide both sides by negative 672. If we divide both sides, negative divide negative is going to be positive. So I'm going to move up here. So we're going to get so 96 over 672 will be equal to cosine A. So then we take the inverse cosine. We take the inverse cosine of that. 72. That will give us angle A. And that will be about 81.8 degrees. Okay, so you see, law of cosine can be tedious because you get big numbers when you square with all those squares and multiplication. You get big numbers. So, and again, we need to watch your order of operation here. So that's it. So once you plug things in and then do your algebra right, you should be okay. Now, we find angle A. This takes us only to find angle A. Now we're going to do the same process again to find angle B. So, no. So then, I didn't put extra thing here. I'm going to use a different color. See how much I can squeeze in here. Find angle B. So it's going to be B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B. Again, see, we are looking for side B, and then angle B and side B has to kind of match. So 14 squared, we check 14 squared, we get 196. And 26 squared plus that, I'm gonna do it separate. So 26 squared plus 24 squared would give us 1252 minus, say, 2 times A is 2 times A is 24. 2 times A, 26 times 24, then we get 1, 2, 4, 8 cosine B. Okay, and then again, we remove this, we subtract this from both sides, and that will give us negative 1056 equal that negative 1248 cosine B. And again, we divide both sides by negative 1248. That will give us a positive. Negative by negative will give a positive. So we kind of take the inverse of that. So the inverse cosine of this 1056 divided by 1248, and that will give us angle B, and that came up to 32.2. Okay, 32.2 would be measure of angle B. All right, out of space. So now that we know our two angles, we can go ahead and find, I'll just do over here. We can add them to find angle C. By angle C is going to be 180 minus the sum of angle A plus angle B. So the two angles we just found. Because some angle on a triangle gonna always be 180. So we add those and then subtract them from 180. We're going to get about 66 degrees. And that completes the solving. Okay. So now to solve this kind, you're going to you have side, angle, side, you know at least one of the angles. You use the same. But it's helpful to find side B first. If you find side B, that way you can use the, after you find, one side and one angle, then you can use law of sine. That saves you tons of time. Okay, pause the video and try to do this for your own first. So here you can check your answer. So again, I invite you to find the side B first, since you know angle B. So it's B squared equals A squared plus BC squared minus the product of 2 times A times C times cosine B. So substitute all you have for the side A and side C and multiply them by 2. Simplify the parentheses now because you also know cosine, that is 4. So multiply everything. Multiply those three first, and then multiply those 2. You get this number. And then you square these 2 and add them. Again, square before you add, and then you get 19. So now you can subtract them because you have all numbers and you're solving for B. So once you simplify all the right side, you come down to 53.72. To remove the square, you take the square root. Take the square root of both sides, and that will give us B is about 7.3. Now that we know B, we can use the law of sine because we know side A over side B, side A of angle A over sine of angle A over side A equals, so just plug in the number right away, sine of side, that's 34, side B, angle over side B, which we just found. Okay, so cross multiply, we get that times that equals 12 times sine 34. So do the algebra, and then because we're looking for the angle, you take the inverse sine of that expression and you get it 66.8. And now that we know the two angles, we can always add them and subtract from 180 to get the last angle. Okay, you got that? Yeah, enjoy this candy, GeoGebra candy. All right, let's see if that will play. Come on. No. Well,